If you're not in Ukraine, in defense technology, you don't exist.
He felt safer in Kyiv than in San Francisco.
I feel that people living in Ukraine live very intensive life.
You experience life and death, especially at the front line, at the same time.
So 1 year here means 10 years somewhere else.
This war doesn't last for 11 years.
Culture and art is the reason why we should fight for the freedom.
We want to have our culture, we want to have our identity.
One Finnish mentality is happy being sad.
Happy, sad.
What is the song that defines Ukraine?
Пісня буде поміж нас. Hey everyone, welcome to iUkraine podcast. Here we are going to talk about Ukraine and people who build Ukraine during full-scale war. My name is Julia. I'm a volunteer and also I'm building a software engineering company, and I'm happy and pleased to introduce my first guest, Mikko-Pekka. It's, oh my God, so many things I want to tell about you. First of all, it's unofficial ambassador of Ukraine in Finland and of Finland in Ukraine, a entrepreneur, and amazing person.
Welcome.
Welcome, Mikko.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. How are you doing?
I'm doing, despite the last night, I'm fine, as you say here in Ukraine.
Yeah, small talk in Ukraine usually looks like that. How do you feel and whether you're safe and sound? Maybe we will mention that during this night, we had one of the most massive attacks on Ukraine. And we would like also to mention our condolences to people who lost dear ones, relatives, and because it was a huge one. And it was shelling during the whole night, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was not easy. Yeah. But at the same time, we are here.
Yes.
We are shooting a podcast, and we'll be talking about Ukraine.
Yes, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my first question to you, Mikko, is what brought you to Ukraine?
That's a really, really good question. Right after the full-scale invasion started in February 22, I was asked to help on a project regarding startups in Ukraine. So there was a startup competition going on, and we kind of organized a bunch of people from Finland to do that. And that's the whole starting point. And when you start doing something, it actually means that you have to go all in.
Yeah.
Of doing
all in or
all
never
in.
do it.
Yeah, and that brought me here to Ukraine. First time 2 years back, actually. Like actually brought me
2
here.
years back, which is 2023.
Yeah.
And if you could mention more about your first experience of being here physically in Ukraine.
Well, yeah.
How did you feel? Anxious? Fear?
No.
Whatever?
I thought that, because people live here, their life, I can't, be like a war tourist, let's say this way. That's my first thing. I reflected myself on how do I behave here, what do I do. That was the interesting thing.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to react to air alerts.
Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Nobody teaches you how to react to it, right?
Yeah. But my first experience was actually we were driving a car with some gear that we were bringing in, and we together with my friend Jan, we were there on the border with the car.
It's your friend from Finland,
Yes,
right?
yes. And I got a car from Lapland and Toyota, and it's now somewhere in north of Kyiv to be used.
Help in Ukraine.
Yeah. So that's my first experience, was actually the border and the customs in the small town the border of Poland and Ukraine, which is really funny. There's a story of stamps or not having stamps.
Yeah, they were checking all your passport,
yeah.
all the countries you visited.
Yes, and but actually we kind of like went into Ukraine before we had those stamps, so we had to get back and get those stamps. But it's like
it's like a quest,
Yeah. So it was. But the people were very friendly at that time in the border as well. So they were helping us.
They knew that you are not from Ukraine, foreigners. Nice. And then you arrived to Ukraine.
Hmm.
How do you feel? How did you feel back then, 2 years ago, when you arrived here?
I feel the same thing now that I felt there. I felt the kind of like the mystery of paradox, like two things at the same time. You know, countries going to war, people are living under the war, but then again, people are living their everyday life.
Yeah.
And you know,
Surreal.
surreal.
Yeah.
This paradox, I feel at the same time. And now, because like having few times over here, I'm fine with this paradox.
Even today is night and day.
Mm.
And during this night, I was sitting in the bathroom because it's safer to sit in the bathroom. There were lots of ballistic missiles. And I was preparing for a podcast, 2 a.m., praying when there was a lot of shelling, texting back my friends that I'm alive and everything's fine, and asking whether they are okay. My mom in the morning from another region of Ukraine texted me asking whether I'm safe and sound. Then I go and prepare for a podcast, wear my suit, whatever, and then we are drinking coffee, talking about life and joking, right? And all at the same time span of like 10, 15 hours.
Yeah. I feel that people living in Ukraine live a very intensive life. So 1 year here means 10 years somewhere else. And
that's a good comparison.
Yeah, that is something to for non-Ukrainians to understand. It's very intensive, mentally and emotionally.
Yeah, I understand. And how many times since then have you visited Ukraine?
I think this is my fifth time.
Fifth time.
Yeah, mostly I've been in September in Idean in beautiful
that's
town
where
of
we
Lviv.
met?
Yeah.
1.5 years ago.
Yeah, in Lviv, it's a very beautiful town.
If you could, as a person who's been here 5 times at least, from another country and different perspective, and looking at news there and talking to people there and being unofficial ambassador, though I think for me, you're official one. So how could you describe the discrepancy, or maybe there is no discrepancy, I'm just making some assumptions. How would you describe how people see it from there and how you see it from there?
Yeah, obviously our national news are very good. Yleisradio, really good news, so they give a really clear picture of what's going on. Unfortunately, the main picture is about, of course, reporting about what happens in war. So that gets a lot of mental images to people that this is the old thing. But, you know, walking in Kyiv or Lviv, there are no, you guys clean up very quickly the damages. So it's actually like being in a European city. And this is another paradox.
Yeah.
And I also want to when I go back to Finland, everybody asks, how is it in Ukraine? How is it in Ukraine? I was like, how? It's like life there. So this same paradox is actually there quite a bit. But unfortunately, the view is very much on the what happens in the frontier. Or like about last night. Today's news is mostly about that.
Mostly about
which is important, of course.
Yeah, I understand. When I travel, I do travel a lot. I go to different conferences. I meet people from different countries. I see that, and actually they also made some impact on me to make this podcast, because people see the news, people watch news, and they see one picture.
Yeah.
And it's war and it's truth. But at the same time, when you come here, you experience life.
Yes.
You experience life and death, especially at the front line, at the same time, in the same country, in different regions. And even today at night, there was death. So it's very hard for me to explain to them how it feels like. That's why I'm asking you, because so many of them are afraid to come here. And I do understand, because war sounds really terrifying. But at the same time, there are so many new things coming up. And we'll be talking right now with you about your 2 important projects.
Yeah, thank you for asking about those. I'm really really excited actually.
Yeah, because except for being ambassador, you're also doing important things which make you ambassador. So there are two of them.
Yes.
Maybe let's start with the first one because you are investing into military tech in Ukraine.
Yes.
So if you could tell more about Double Tap Investment Fund, how it all started.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so exciting.
So Double Tap Investment is not a fund, it's an investment company. It's a big difference in a Finnish legal structure. We are not a fund, so we don't have to be boring. So what we are doing solely is that we try to find cool innovations done in that has a battlefront traction and invest to those. And there are specific Ukrainian companies that we invest into, early stage startups. And that's about it. It started actually in Lviv IT Arena.
Everything starts in Lviv IT Arena.
Yeah. We were like together with Jan, my Finnish friend. We were like, Jan was like somehow wandering and walking around in the opera house, and then he got, hey, now we know what we're gonna do. We're gonna set up a company that invests into Ukrainian defense technology, because if you're not in Ukraine in defense technology, you don't exist. Because all the innovations, all the major innovations are happening here right now, and the talent in Ukraine is really, really amazing. And obviously, there's no kind of like problem of understanding why you are doing it.
Yeah, there is a reason.
Yeah.
Our neighbor. It's important for me to hear that you see it as a center of military tech. Let's call it like that, right? Ukraine as a center of military tech.
Yes. And why is it so? That there's a combination of talent, combination of understanding what is actually needed, that is relevant. And third one is that the ability to apply solutions today. There's a lot of science fiction in defense technology, drone swarms, lasers, something, Star Wars stuff. There's a lot of science fiction, I would say. But here it's not science fiction, it's actually science faction and satisfaction, science faction. Anyway,
neologism.
And that makes this the fastest growing market, and I presume that defense technology market will be the most driving force of Ukrainian economy in coming years.
Wow.
There's so much going on over here, and more investments should come over here as well on that side.
So you've been working on Double Tap Investment Organization for 2 years almost?
Yeah, we've been active, especially active now in last 6 months, where we got the, it's not the easiest thing to invest from Finland to Ukraine, and especially in defense technology. There's a lot of, let's say, stereotypes around it. Yeah.
What kind of stereotypes?
Well, for instance, miltech is forbidden. It's a highly regulated area, and some financial institutions in Finland or Europe don't approve it. And second one is the actual transactions between Finland and Ukraine, where the money is and where it's going and that kind of thing. It's
from organizational part, financial part.
Yeah, so there's a lot of governance things that has took quite a lot of time. But we've solved them. Now we made investments, and now I just invite everybody else to invest as much as possible.
Yeah, that's one of my questions, whether you recommend to invest into it. You mentioned that you do recommend. It's important to hear. Maybe there are some people watching us who are thinking about it.
Yeah, definitely they should.
Yeah.
And there's it's a dual impact thing, helping Ukraine reach the victory as soon as possible. But at the same time, it's the building up the economic and the business here as well, which is really good for the long-term rebuilding of this country.
Like long-term, yeah. Thank you. Maybe you could mention, if it's not under NDA, some of the products you have invested into, maybe some of them, just outline and whatever.
Yeah. We have a strategy in our investments that all the companies should somehow be able to work together as well and build up a bigger system. So we have a software company that is to do OSINT technology.
That's my profile, software development.
Yes. Then we have one a river drone company,
Okay.
and one drone R&D company, and then one that is platform for autonomous systems. And they are all kind of like parts of a bigger defense system that we
So
want
they
to
are
do.
all interconnected. Let's
Yeah,
call it like that.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. That's cool. Sounds really interesting. And I also do confirm that Ukraine is definitely a center of defense tech right now. We've been talking to more defense tech companies later in my podcast. So, yeah, thank you for mentioning it. And I think that we will definitely show to our guests later much more of them. Not specifically the one you mentioned, but others. Lots of people have switched from software development to embedded engineering or something like that. And lots of people have quit their jobs and went either to frontline or to create something like different military/defense tech. And I personally know a lot of people who have changed their life totally, like 100%, and they are all in defense tech.
Yeah, there's one kind of like big risk in this one is the moral thing. So we have to be very careful that we are not making money out of somebody's blood. That's something to remind you that what we are doing, there's no toys, and they are like serious stuff. And I've had to, and everybody has had to do a own moral decision to actually to be able to be. This is not for everybody. Let's say this way.
That's why I like to call it more defense tech, because it's defense.
Defense, yes.
Only defense.
Yeah.
I understand what you mean. Even while being a volunteer for 2 years, first 2 years of full-scale war, I was fundraising lots of money from Ukraine and from abroad. Thanks to all my foreign friends from different countries who were supporting me. It's really important. I do appreciate it because I was closing lots of different huge donations. I mean, like, I noticed that some of people don't want to invest, don't want to send money, and don't want to fundraise to militaries and defense tech, which is okay. It's not for everyone, as you mentioned. But at the same time, I do emphasize that it's defense.
Indeed.
On 21st of February 2022, when full-scale war started, because it all started much more years ago. It started in 2014, and we'll also go today maybe through history. It lasted much more through centuries. But if we talk about 21st century, when full-scale war started, we didn't plan to.
And if we don't do miracles right now, the fight will continue for next decades as well. So we have to be very, very active right now.
Yeah, today you posted on Instagram, you posted a story. I even saved it, that such a beautiful sunny morning in Kyiv, unbelievable that after such a night of shelling, and we all should do more, something to,
And especially Europe. I don't, even now, Kaja Kallas knows, as an Estonian person, knows that why we should do, but we have to like do more. Because like Ukrainians are doing a lot. You are brave, resilient, all those things, but it's enough is enough. I think we have to also join your bravery.
Thank you for joining us and supporting us, even though you're not Ukrainian. For me, it's a huge surprise to see, and I know more people from different countries, especially you, like my first guest. I'm pleased. But seeing people from different countries being brave enough to come here physically, first of all. It's a long way. You cannot fly to Ukraine. You have to take lots of different trains. But each time I ask Mikko, how was your travel? He's like, it was okay. It's a bit hard. It takes like 24 plus hours, right?
Yeah. But you know, the train is by the way, in the trains you get to meet in a sleeping cart. You get to meet this time I was coming, there was a guy from Poltava. No, I hear stories of Poltava, and of course that's a good thing. So it's sometimes it's good that the travel takes a long time.
You can always see the bright side of things, Mikko.
Yeah.
That's what I can see. And coming here physically, first of all, not flying, but driving lots of trains, and also coming here and being ready for it psychologically, mentally, to experience different types of conversations, questions, like me today asking you questions, shelling maybe, like this night, or anything that can happen, right? So it's a huge courage, and I'm really pleased to see people like you. And it's a huge, I think, honor for us. It's a huge happiness for us to have you, because we are here. Thank you. Дякую, as we say in Ukrainian. Дякую. Because coming here takes a lot of... if I were in your place, if we changed places, I'm not sure, to be honest, whether I would come here. I'm still afraid to go to frontline. Like, my volunteering is more about fundraising and communication, and but it was not about going to frontline at all. I had a lot of people who were asking, maybe let's go together. I'm afraid. I'm afraid.
Yeah.
I'm afraid to go there.
I'm useless in frontline.
Same here.
Yeah, so therefore I go there, of course. There are more professional people and more relevant people. I'm not useless in offices.
That's true.
And in Kyiv, I can do a lot of things over here. So you need to find your place in this ecosystem.
Yeah, I agree. And but I'm just talking, not going to frontline just to see. As a volunteer, for me, it's a lot. I have a lot of fear. But again, coming here from different country, from different perspective, not understanding what's going on, and still being happy with it. I had a case. My friend, I met him at one of the conferences in Lisbon, Web Summit.
Yeah.
He's originally from California. At least he lives in California. He lives around the world. He's built a lot of startups. Hello, Peter. And he was afraid to come to Ukraine, but he wanted so much. I could see from his eyes, he was like, I want to visit Ukraine, but I am afraid. So last summer, he visited Ukraine, finally. And I was showing him around our offices, co-working places, restaurants, picnics, everything. And you know what he told me? That he felt safer in Kyiv than in San Francisco.
That can be true. Finland is there's so few people, so that basically you can very safe in Finland. All the icy roads can be dangerous. But over here, I would say that one thing that really great here in Ukraine, and why people should travel here, is the food. The restaurants are really good.
Yeah. What's your favorite? I didn't expect food,
Yeah, but people, of course, then meeting Julia, you, or all the people that I've met there, it's like we are interesting. We are all humans, and it's great to meet people and get friends from here as well.
I always say that we meet usually when I travel. First thing, which is the most important for me, is meeting people of this nation, and that's the way I can meet the nation, the country itself.
Yeah,
through people.
Yeah, and like meeting other people is also like opening your mouth and asking, who are you, or what are you doing? Like this, you are asking from me.
Yeah, agree. And how about food? What's a favorite Ukrainian dish? If we started this conversation, I do agree. It's very good one, Ukrainian cuisine.
Yeah, there's one thing that actually reminds me of Finnish cuisine very well. I've been eating a lot of herring here.
It's popular.
Yeah.
Especially in winter when it's cold outside.
Yeah, so that some restaurants have a really good version, like a potato, kartoff, and herring, and that's, I would say that you could have that dish in Finland as well in summertime.
Okay, cool. Wow. I'm thinking about food. Let's switch the topic. Food is always a good idea. So we've talked about investment side, but there is another side of you.
Yes.
When I was mentioning to my friends what my first guest at the podcast will be, who this person will be. And I was trying to explain what you are doing. They were like, come on, come on, come on. It's not possible that one person can do it. You know, like your background, business background, also being mentor, like being, you were one of the, at LBYT Arena, right? You were one of the jury members of one of, it's actually the biggest IT event in Ukraine with lots of companies. So mentoring, also investing into military tech and culture.
Yes.
Developing Ukrainian songs and culture in Finland. They were like, it's not possible. Are you talking about one guest or maybe it's about 5 in a row?
Yeah.
And it's all about you.
Yes. That's my weakness as well. So a little bit distracted mind. So I have I'm really bad at focusing on something.
Same here.
I can focus on many things at the same time. And I think culture.
I think it's strength as well.
Yeah. Culture and art is the reason why we should fight for the freedom. The freedom of being who you are. Freedom to imagine better future. It's art, and that's the reason why. So Winston Churchill made it.
Yeah.
Why do we fight if we don't have culture?
Yeah.
And I think that's the reason. Therefore, already 3 years ago, I started thinking about what is the most effective way to create a long-term relationship and connection between two countries, and music is the one. And there's Estonian singing revolution. Beautiful thing, Live Aid concert. There's a lot of music has been the driving force of a great, better future all of the time. So then that is that, hey, let's do some music.
Music.
Yeah.
For me, as a person, I also have musical background. I used to play piano and sing. I'm still singing. And I have a surprise for you later. And for me, music is definitely more than just culture. When we were talking with you earlier last week when you arrived, as you said, 24 hours is a trip is okay. I met you here in the place we are shooting the podcast right now. You mentioned that you were investing into 2 types of weapons, right? I really liked this phrase about real weapons and culture songs.
Yeah. And weapons of heart.
Oh, yeah, weapons of heart. I like the way it sounds. And you inspired me to look. I was thinking, if Mikko, a person from different country, from Finland, is exploring Ukrainian culture so much, and maybe I should explore it more.
Yeah.
And I asked my father lately, about the songs which are for him a part of our culture, but the ones which are old folklore songs. And he mentioned to me, the story of our grandfather who was sent to Siberia at the end of 30s, beginning of 40s. And the song which he was singing all the time, I think we will put the recording here. I cannot, I cannot do it, unfortunately. Each time my father hears this song, he's crying. I'm the same. When I hear it, I'm crying, and I ask my father, what is the story behind it? So he told me that our grandfather was sent to Siberia to work on plants there. It's 20th century, almost 100 years ago, beginning of Second World War. He was, and when he was singing this song, he was telling, at least here now I can sing it, because otherwise, if I was doing it there at the plant, it was job, just working at the plant, doing some weapons, I could be beaten, or something bad could happen to him. And he was always mentioning it. And I realized one thing, that, and I know it, but still, I did realize that this war doesn't last for 11 years or 3 years, like full-scale war. It's already 4th year. It lasts for much longer. It lasts for centuries.
Yes.
I also asked my friends who showed me a lot of documents and sent it to me yesterday of the history of their grandfather who was, and it's written in the document, like that his parents and him as a kid was taken to Siberia. All of their belongings were taken away, of course, house and everything, and they were just sent. Deported, sent there for 8 years, and the stories they were telling, they remind me of the Edith Eger's book Choice. At least in Ukrainian, it's Вибір Choice, and the person who lived through Second World War and survived. Maybe you've heard about it. Now it's very popular in Ukraine because we do live through wartime, and this war definitely lasts for centuries.
Yes, and
what do you think?
It is, and of course, like Finland have the same enemy as you are having, and at the border we've been experiencing the same war for, in the times of Ivan Maseva, by the way. There was even then, there was a lot of bad things happening in Finland because of Russia, and I think it's been ongoing, and especially the war against identity, the war against who you are and your language. It's a really if you look at how they have done for your country, what they have done, especially identity and language and the culture things, I think it's criminal activity, and it's a very long process. And now it's your time to respect your own language, your own culture, and do your thing.
My first master's is in philology, translation studies, and I remember the phrase, when the language disappears, the culture disappears, and the nation disappears. And before full-scale war, I should admit that most of people, like majority of population of Ukraine was Russian speaking, but it's historically being part of Soviet Union, century by century, decade by decade, as you mentioned, trying to take away our identity. And I had a lot of friends in Kyiv from Belarus. And I remember when I asked, as a philologist, I'm always curious of languages, and I was asking them, like, how do you call it in your language? Like some general phrase, like I have amazing day, whatever. And they were like, I don't know. And it was 2021, 1 year before full-scale war. And me, as philologist, I was staying and saying, oh my God, I was really afraid that we might lose our language and, as a fact of things, nation, identity, and everything. Now it has changed a lot. A lot of people are switching to Ukrainian language. Dobre. And people like you who speak some Ukrainian words inspire people here as well. People switch to language. People start learning about traditions. You've been here. It was Easter a few days ago.
Yes.
So you've seen how people. Did you enjoy the traditions?
Yeah. It was really great. I heard a lot of Vesyankas.
Vesnyanki.
Yeah.
It's Ukrainian traditional dance. Vesna in Ukrainian is spring. So it's the way to commemorate to mid-spring.
Yeah, and the Saturday was beautiful. A lot of art, like traditional art there, and of course the San Sofia gardening is very, very peaceful. So I had a fantastic afternoon over there. Thank you, my friend, family who took me there.
So people get back to traditions. I'm happy that you could see it with your own eyes.
There's one tradition that I think that would be interesting to explore in Finland is the Melanka. Melanka.
It's the one before Christmas?
Perhaps. But you have this Melanka thing going on.
And how is it in Finland?
No, well, we don't have that kind of thing, but we should have.
You want to implement it.
Yeah. Because I think there's cool things happening in Melanka.
And what is your favorite Finnish holiday? Holiday celebration?
Yeah, we kind of like feel alive in midsummer in Finland.
It's getting snow is melting. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, hopefully
When
that
do
time.
you get rid of snow? May, June?
No, we get rid of. I think in Helsinki it was not so much snow this year, but by March and in south. But right now, it's April. There's still good skiing in Lapland. Yeah.
We have skiing in Carpathians as well. Cool.
Yeah.
So summertime is the best time to come to Finland.
It depends who you ask. That I would then, if I would go to Lapland, I would go the end of September, because then the forests are glowing beautiful there.
You can go to forest, pick up mushrooms.
Yes, that you can do.
What else can I do?
Pick up lingonberries.
So
Very healthy.
okay.
And that's
healthy lifestyle from Mikko-Pekka.
And of course, if you want to see the auroras, it's February.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Sounds
a little bit tourist. Visit Finland commercial.
Nice. Welcome to Finland, guys.
Yes, indeed.
Midsummer time.
Yes, tervetuloa. That's Finnish welcome.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Welcome. Wow. So many topics that we are touching and talking about.
But we can talk about music.
Yes, let's get back to Solovey, which is nightingale.
Yeah.
In Ukrainian, it's Solovey.
Yeah.
If you could tell more.
Yeah, that actually, the whole thing happened again with people. So I was in Podil, in Kyiv. We had kind of like a drinking competition there. Finland against Ukraine, I lost. But,
really?
But while we were talking, drinking, we were discussing about what are the key songs, people sharing the music that they like. And I got this playlist, Spotify playlist on the songs, and then I think, hey, let's make those songs in Finnish. And I asked a couple of my friends, artists, that if they could do this, and they said yes. And now we have 4 songs translated into Finnish, and 9th of May is the first single release date. For
end of May.
9th.
Yeah. Of May.
Yeah.
Okay, it's your first release.
Yeah, and it's a Finnish version of Obimi by Okaanelsi.
Obimi. Oh, by Okaanelsi.
Yeah, a really, really great song. In Ukrainian, it's already as an original song is a really great, really fantastic, beautiful song. But now we made it a little bit different version.
Okay.
Into Finnish.
Yeah, you make it and it will be in Finnish. Obimi. Okay, by Okaanelsi in Finnish.
Yeah, the title is Laula mulle laulu. It means sing me a song.
Wow. Maybe, I don't know when this podcast will be online, but maybe we will add some more information of it or release whatever you share.
Yes. And on the course of doing those songs, I've been now getting to know who is Okaanelsi. And then also we made Sermana Ruta. Now I know Ivasuk, like who is he, who was he, and then with the one song is Treve.
Maybe.
By that I know now a lot of history of Dnipro River and also Tarashenko. So the songs are doors to Ukrainian culture. And as a Finnish person, you only have to like listen to the song, and if you like the song, then you probably want to know a little bit more about it. Who is it? Why it's made? And then like Olusi Servona Kalina is like a really big song.
It became like a hymn.
Yeah.
Unofficial hymn of Ukrainian independence during full-scale war.
Yeah, and also like it's very related to your 1914 things, and that's a way to learn the history and the culture of Ukraine as well. But first you need to just like the song, and I hope that people like it.
To feel it and to hear it. And you mentioned Ivasuk, Volodymyr Ivasuk. And yesterday before, while preparing for this podcast, I just looked through my Instagram and I saw the influencer whom I'm following from Ukraine, and he's been to Ukrainian performance about Volodymyr Ivasuk. And of course, we all were learning it at school, but he just reminded me that he was killed when he was 30. 30, and it's very chaotic and like huge tragedy for Ukraine. It was during Soviet times. Those who were singing in Ukrainian and developing Ukrainian culture and language were not welcome. Let's call it like that in a mild way. And then I realized that I like singing, and I realized that the story of Volodymyr Vysyuk is so touching to me. It's one of the most famous Ukrainian composers. And then this shelling happened during the night. And I was listening to one of the songs, which I think I'm going to sing it now, just a small part of it, and I was hesitating whether to sing or not to sing. And then this shelling was happening. And I realized while sitting in the bathroom and listening to this song with some tears in my eyes, I realized I'm going to sing it. So
good.
Yeah.
Давай.
Не ховай очей блакитних промінь, заспівай мені в останній раз, пісню ту візьму собі на спомин, пісня буде поміж нас. Бо твій голос, щедра повінь, я мов колос, зелен колос, нею повен, жовтий лист спаде й виросте зелений, а ти в пісні будеш завжди біля мене.
Beautiful.
It's such a touching song, if to translate it. First meaning, of course, it's a distance the guy is missing his girlfriend and they are on distance, but the most important thing is that he will be with her even through songs and music. That's why I decided to sing it, because now music and songs are so important for us. Sometimes we can listen to some song and just feel such touching moments that we are crying, but at the same time, I believe it's like soul healing.
It is.
So the main motto of this song is, the song is among us. Пісня will be. The song will be among us. Пісня буде поміж нас. So I realized that it's like a motto. It might be a motto as well. You can take it to your Solovey.
It is very close to the whole Solovey idea, and why actually the Obimi song was selected, and why it is like Laula mulle laulu in Finnish is that on that drinking competition, I heard that one of the individuals there said that it was their song when she sent her husband to frontier. The
Obimi.
Yeah, and told the story to Jona, who is the singer, and she made the lyrics in a way that this husband has come back.
Wow.
And what does it mean? And there the idea is that this song is like creating the emotional connection. Yes.
It's about connection.
And before and after these things, what's happening. The lyrics for Reve,
Та стогне Дніпро широкий. It's the poem of Taras Shevchenko, the biggest poet of Ukraine, one of the biggest ones.
And the Finnish version is from 60s, the lyrics.
Translation.
And it's a story about how you go to the river that is made of crystal. It's so clear as crystal, and by that river you're very close to God. So that's the idea. So
by being close to the crystal.
Yeah. So that's and very emotional versions you'll hear. There's also one thing that we had to find an album cover.
Yeah.
So then again, Jona and Matti, who are the main artists.
Those are the main artists of your
and they said that, hey, Maria Prymachenko. So now we have thanks to Maria Prymachenko's foundation, the family, we have now one piece as a art piece as a album cover. It's really, really cool. And now I know Maria Prymachenko, and everybody in Europe should know Maria Prymachenko. She's fantastic. Just an awesome, amazing artist.
Yeah, I agree. So much, and you know about her. and we will add this emblem as well. Maybe someone will be curious to find out about Maria Prymachenko. I'm thinking right now that we'll be adding all the links to all the songs mentioned, to all the artworks, just for people to see the Ukrainian culture.
Yeah.
And to see, to feel it.
Yeah.
So now, what are the plans of Nightingale or Solovey? First of all, release in May.
Yeah.
Any other plans?
Yes. Then communicate about Maria Prymachenko in Finland. So the idea is to do a little bit communication about that. Then 29th of August.
29th of August, after Ukrainian Independence Day on 24th.
We'll have a first ever live concert of those songs. And then 6th of September in Helsinki, we have the live concert. And totally, I will force everybody from Finland to come to those. They have to.
Welcome.
Fill in that, but that's going to happen. And now we are planning to do more music. There's one, maybe I can share this. This is my idea. There's Vasil Simonenko poet.
Vasil Simonenko.
Yeah, there's one poem. You are just a human poem.
Ти знаєш, що ти людина.
So together with the NGO here in Ukraine, we have translated that poem to Finnish. And I have now a young female artist who tries to get the song out of the Finnish version, so we would know that.
Wow, so many things to come this year.
Yeah.
So saving the dates. I think I will come. I already promised you that I will come to your concert.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just thinking out loud right now. Maybe there are people in different countries, like European or non-European countries, who would like to develop a Ukrainian culture, language, songs in their country. And you never know, maybe we would, if they write to us in comments or something like that, we could connect and do this knowledge sharing and make a community.
Yes, and I totally encourage, German musicians to do the versions of Ukrainian songs.
And
the melodies are great, the stories are great, the style of music is really cool. You have Dacha Bracha, for instance, or Nuka, really world-class music here.
Nice. Would be nice if some of you reach out to us.
And it's also like really good for the self-esteem. If I ask that, what is your song? What is the song that defines Ukraine? Of course, the next question is, well, what is the song that defines Finland?
That was one of my questions.
Yeah.
So, Mikko, what is the song that defines for you Finland?
It's actually a list of songs. They are based on poems by Eino Leino, who is our national poet, like a Taras Shevchenko of Finland. And now passed away artist Vesa-Matti Loiri has created this one album, a music of those poems. I would say that those songs defines me the mentality and culture most accurately of Finland. It's they made in 70s or 80s songs, And by the way, that now I mentioned Eino Leino, there's a very interesting cultural connection to that person. So he wrote in 1917 a poem to celebrate the independence fight of Ukraine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I would like to read you
In what year?
This is 1917.
1917.
Yeah.
So like more than 50 years ago.
Like over 100 years ago. 1917.
17. Sorry, 1917.
Yeah.
So more than 100 years ago.
Yeah, and the first verse goes like, this is in Finnish.
Okay.
Terve Ukraina, kunnias soikoon, huutona huomenen valkenevan. Voimasi lempesi leimaus voikoon, laatia maan vapahan. Uljas Ukraina, nyt älä horju, kerran se koittaa kansojen koi. Tyynenä vankkana vaarasi torju, tai jos on tarpeen, niin salamoi. This is a Finnish poem, and it basically says that, hail to Ukraine, to the glorious sounding cry of white haze of early morn's light. March your strength and your ardor surrounding, urging and making your land's freedom bright. Bold be Ukraine, for you now must not waver. Dawn of your people, it surely has come. calmly and firmly in danger, be braver, place if you must to your liberty's drum. That's the English version of that kind of thing. And that is
great.
Eino Leino is the definition of Finnish mentality. And he wrote the poem for Ukraine over 100 years ago. And I think we have to do the same thing. We are accountable of doing the same thing right now. Then that's the idea of Solovey in nutshell.
Unbelievable. Thank you for supporting us. And it's a huge surprise for me that it was in more than a century ago.
Yeah.
It was written more than a century ago.
Yeah. Somehow your first, like the big independence fight, we had the same thing in Finland as well. And Finnish and Ukrainian histories are actually very, very connected.
Interconnected.
Yeah. And let's make it even more powerful.
You know that I found out lately when preparing, when reading. I'm so happy you inspired me to read more about Finland. I was like, if Mikko is reading a lot and finding out a lot about Ukraine, maybe I should do something. And one of the first things which I found out about Finland and USSR Russian war, first of all, we did use a lot of Molotov's cocktails.
Yeah.
And
defense technology innovation.
And it comes from Finland.
Yeah.
And I even heard the song in Finnish, Niet Molotov. And I was like, wow, how brave Finnish people are. And during Second World War, the way you defeated the enemy.
Or tried as much as we could.
It was a huge Soviet army, a huge, so many of them, and Finns, there were not so many of them.
Yeah.
But still you defeated them.
Yeah.
And wrote the song, Niet Molotov, Niet Molotov. I was like, wow, I'm proud of you. I will add this song as well. And my father sent it to me. Thank you. And I was like, wow, дякую. This is amazing. Now we still use this kind of. So Molotov was the Russian minister.
Yeah, foreign minister.
Foreign minister, and he was trying to invade Finland. During
this Molotov and Ribbentrop, German foreign minister, they made this deal.
Yeah.
That is very similar. Very similar that the guy in USA and the criminal in Moscow try to do. So there's a lot of
similarities. Unfortunately, history is repeating.
Yes. And therefore, if it's so that this history is repeating, then it's very important that we know the history. Because we don't really want to replace the same mistakes. And we have to be learning.
Yeah. So Niet Molotov is right now, a lot of people are rephrasing it into different combinations, Niet and other names, I saw it on YouTube. And
that's interesting.
There are so many people from Frontline writing down like, yeah, I do listen to this song and I do rephrase it. You see?
That's like
and I'm like,
really
wow,
cool. This is
wow.
So
and
cool.
This is Finnish people. So you're brave enough.
But yes, and I would say that the mentality that you guys are doing here, the spirit and the fight, is very inspiring to us in Finland. But also reminds us that, yes, we've done that also. So it's actually very encouraging that what you are doing so that we can all defeat the evil as soon as possible.
Yeah, hopefully. I know so many people right now from my country who are either waiting for someone from Frontline or not waiting anymore, or being afraid what future brings for their kids and family, or so many lives, people's lives are at stake right now, it's even hard to formulate it. Ukrainian people definitely want to live their life on independent earth and live their life happily without any kind of interactions, let's call it like that, with neighbors. It would be nice if this war would finish, as we say, with our victory. By that I mean we want to have our land, our country back. And at the same time would be nice to talk about maybe something different. There are so many different things. When I was thinking that I'm shooting my podcast, I didn't think that I would make it about war. You know, and there are so many beautiful things in life.
Yes.
And when the first day of war happened, I remember my state of feelings. It was like you are shaking, you don't know how to react, and you are thinking. And these words of my history teacher at school, that history repeats. History repeats. Please learn history because it repeats. It was in my head for a long time after that, for a few months. And we were like, we are busy with our stuff at school. We don't care too much. And now we get back to history. Even your history, our history, poems, songs. We want our culture to be... we want to have our culture. We want to have our identity. We want to have our language.
Yeah.
It's not that much that we are asking for.
Yes. It's very, very clear that you want, and that's really good. You need to have the independence and freedom to be who you are, and that's every country is right, and let's work on that.
Yeah, so many things to cover in the upcoming months and years. Hopefully months. I'm always putting the deadline, like, oh, maybe one more year, maybe one more year. But as we were talking today, it lasted for more years, more for decades, for centuries. Our ancestors, grandparents, grandparents, people who were building Ukrainian language and culture, they were either deported or taken away or killed or something like that. And I even remember history lessons and Ukrainian literature lessons at school. It was like, it felt like tragedy. We didn't even want to read Ukrainian literature because we were like, oh, there is so much sorrow, so many tears, so many different emotions, negative emotions in it. At the same time, we do have literature and songs which are nice and merry and beautiful, but still sorrow, tragedy, people killed, famine, people not having anything to eat, people on different land being far away. The songs are about it. If you look it over, so many songs about people being far away and missing their land.
Yeah.
It's
one Finnish mentality is happy being sad.
Happy being sad?
Yeah.
Like you are happy if you can feel sad, or what do you mean? Yeah.
Happy sad. Yeah,
happy sad. It's like happy sad.
Yeah, happy sad. And the other one is...
Please explain.
Yeah, it's like the feeling of melancholy.
Melancholy.
It's actually a healing feeling. You don't go to despair, but you are
not too much.
Not too much, but you'll feel a little bit sadness because then it's real. And what's real and authentic is very important. But happy being sad is therefore, Kimi Räikkönen, who is like...
I have a surprise for you. And somehow you made it like an intro to total surprise, which I didn't share with you yet. Only with two friends who were listening to it. They were like, oh my goodness, what are you doing, Julia? But it's Finnish folk song. Which I found on the internet. Hopefully you know it. Aamulla varhain. If you don't know it, you can pretend you know it. But I want to sing one part of it. And it's about melancholy, I guess. Thank you for intro again, because I was thinking how to put it, how to talk about it, where to put it. So here it is. Let me try. Don't be too strict. Aamulla varhain, kun aurinko nousi, kun minä unestani heräsin. Sydämeni oli niin surusta raskas, miksikä kultani huulasit mun. Which means early in the morning when the sun rose. When I woke up from my sleep, My heart was so heavy with grief. Why did you, my darling, leave, abandon me?
Happy being sad. Yeah, very very well known folk song in Finland. It's like a really moving you to sing the in my language. Really great.
Thank you. Thank you. It is very touching melody. And now maybe we will do some Finnish thing here because it took me a few days to listen to the melody, of course, but it's very nice. And as a thank you for what you are doing for our culture and nation and identity, it's a small verse. And you never know, we are going to a concert in Finland. Maybe we'll prepare more.
Yes, let's sing more. Let's sing more. That's the plan.
We need to preserve our cultures, identities, languages.
Yeah.
I do believe it's real weapon. I know cases when people were healed by it, people on front line, people here, people waiting for someone. And I think that this happy being sad feeling, or I know in Portugal there is a word for it, saudade, which is like deep feeling of sorrow and waiting for something nice to be back, which comes historically from the fact when it's my favorite word, Portuguese. It comes from historically when women were waiting for their men, sailors, to be back, and they were waiting so much for them and thinking of these beautiful moments they had together with their husbands and family. And it is very light sorrow. And I think it's happy being sad. In Finnish meaning, which you say. So we in Ukraine do have this feeling right now. I think we are happy with what we have right now because we still have our nation, language, our identity, culture, territory. But at the same time, we do want our freedom, merry and happy times to be without curfew and shelling, air alerts, missiles, different types of missiles, drones, whatever, to be back and to live here without this feeling, just being sad a bit, not too much.
And the reason for sadness would be like more humane.
Yeah.
And that I think it's important to find congruence. This is a word I learned, English word. In that language,
What
there's
is
also
that?
great congruence means that you kind of feel that you are united with yourself, within yourself. So there's a paradoxes, happy, sad, these things, like war, not war, like all those paradoxes. And when you feel congruence, it means that you are like united within yourself. And that's very important to have all your power and energy as a human being to live a better life, have this congruence. And
I like it.
we cannot affect what happens outside. We can only affect inside. And this is something that you are now practicing. You have to practice here in Ukraine, the practice of congruence. It's very close to ikigai in Japanese term.
Yeah, it's like living our life the fullest we can. Yeah, and at the same time, a bit melancholic and waiting for happy freedom times back.
Yes.
Thank you, Mikko. It was really a deep and pleasant conversation for me with no plan.
Yeah. And this is like a thank you.
Дякую. Дякую тобі. Thanks to you.
This song, Aamulla varhain, it's like no words.
No words? Really? Oh, I'm so happy to hear that because I was here practicing it for 2 days in this co-working space. We worked together and in my earphones and like, Aamulla varhain. And like people next to me looking at me like, and I'm like, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. So I'm really happy you enjoyed it. Now you can imagine how much it means to us when you are working on our culture, when you are working on our songs and music. It means tons of different emotions, tons of different of appreciation, because Yeah, and when you pronounce Ukrainian words, and when you come here physically, and when you talk to people, and I always see you here talking to so many people. All the time, Mikko is busy talking to someone.
Yeah.
And also investing and developing defense tech, which is important because it's important in such hard times, and working on business and mentorship and doing your own projects in Finland and doing our cultural project and being always smiling and open to conversations and not afraid of missiles at night. I was checking at night whether you're okay or not, like just whether you're online. That's so funny. Sometimes we do it when we don't want to disturb someone. We just look whether the person is online. That's and our small talk sometimes is like, "Are you okay? Are you safe and sound? Are you alive?" We call it like Ukrainian small talk. Not all the time. After nights like this, I do appreciate all of these different parts of things you are doing. Again, it's one person doing all of this. What I was telling to my friends who were asking about you as a guest, for your inspiration to others. You did inspire me to investigate, to learn, to research more the old songs, the history of my ancestors and grandparents, the history of my nation, the history of my friends, families, and maybe someone after watching this podcast, no matter what country you are at, you will also look at it, think about it, and also exploring new nations and new cultures.
Yeah, that's what life is all about.
Yeah. Thank you, Mikko.
Thank you. Kiitos.
Kiitos.
Yeah.
Kiitos.
Kiitos.
Thank you.
Thank you.